Hello, hello, hello. Sir RocksAlot. And, yeah, good Sunday to everybody. I think that's the best way to put it. Let's turn on a little flash. Turn on some chat. Have a look. There we go. See if we can zoom in a little bit. And I'll talk about what we're doing. A little bit of coffee. Where's my coffee? So, yeah, last Sunday before Christmas. If you haven't bought your presents, you have to go local because they won't arrive. I don't think they're going to... Hi there. I don't think they're going to arrive by Christmas. But I hope everybody had a great week. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. And I think I put PSA turquoise or turquoise PSA. So kind of like a public service announcement, but some of it is just me being the guinea pig for certain materials and maybe certain places that I buy. So some of them may be good and some of them may be awful. And today I have a little lot right here. I just looked at the box. I thought it was longer ago, but it's not. I bought these back in the beginning of 2023. And they were on eBay. That one wasn't in there. And they were very cheap. They said natural. Hi there. They said natural spider web. Well, may kind of be spider webby, but it's certainly not natural. And I thought we'd just go through a few of these pieces. That's not so bad. And see if we can actually make anything out of them. Let's get that a little bit closer. There you go. So you can see the stabilization in there. So yeah, why not give it a go? Super cheap. Cheap. And see if I can actually make anything out of these. So what else are we going to do? Going to do that. I just found, well, I'm wait for a few people to come in. Hey Marco, welcome in. Dana War, welcome in. Hey everybody. Everybody just jumped in. So yeah, it was sort of, it's not really a public service announcement, although it is in a way, but just some material I bought from eBay 3 years ago almost. And it was super cheap. I don't need to mention the name of the site other than it being eBay. But it's super cheap. Hi Golden Cheese, welcome in. And well, the price of silver, Marco, is 6.7, so there you go. In fact, it's 6.714 until tonight. So we'll talk about that some more today too. But yeah, I bought these off of eBay 3 years ago. It said natural. It's not natural. They said spiderweb. It is kind of spiderwebby. And I don't know if it's going to fall apart. I don't know if it's white on the inside because it's howlite. I don't know if it's some other material, but I thought we'd do a quick live on this and see if we could make anything out of it. So there's a couple of good possibles in here. Hey Alton. The Towers Resort. Welcome in. So yeah, we're going to cut a few of these and then we'll hit something else. This is kind of cool. I was just tidying up the shop and nobody knows where this came from. But you got a frog on him. I did not do that frog. And I'm glad you don't have smell-o-vision on today because I think something died in the backyard somewhere. But we're going to do this first. And yeah, let's just get going, see what we can make of this. I work on a Diamond Pacific Genie. I've been playing around with the pump over here a little bit. Not that it's been giving me major issues, but I've been making a few extra sounds that are like warning signs to me. So let's get this on. Well, thank you, Marco. I appreciate that. Hi, Betty. Doop. Doo-doo-doo. Betty, you've been hitting that resin. Well, this is kind of like resin too, so got resin in it, even though it said it didn't have resin in it. So this freckle cat's gonna come in a minute. Oh, you did? Good. Are you saving it for the new year like me? Not right now, Tyler. Maybe in the future. I'll take a peek after the live today, and then we'll go from there. Vitality, or no, Vitelli. I think I knew some of Vitelli growing up. Cool cat. All right, so which one are we going to start on? I think we're going to start with this one. May or may not work. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make mistakes for other people. No, this isn't, Betty. This came from eBay from like early 2023. You know, I've bought from a lot of different places. This just happened to be eBay. I've had good luck with eBay, and I've had awful luck with eBay. And sometimes you just have to put out a little bit of money to see if you're going to continue buying from them. This was one. I've bought a couple more. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've bought a couple more since, actually. And then I've also had them refund a couple. So it's here, now there. I guess as the kid just said before, it's this is another chunk, just to show you. I don't know, is that any good? It's solid. Yeah, maybe in the next one, Tyler. Come back in the next one. We'll see what we're doing. I gotta look you up after the live, and then we'll go from there. Never know. But yeah, that was eBay too. I forget what they said. They called it green turquoise. It's green something. I don't know if it's a varicite or it's just howlite that's been dyed. So let's have a go on this one and see what we got inside this one. It's got potential. Pretty hard. Let's zoom you in here. Oh, I need something. Hold it. Almost didn't put this side piece down. And I don't know why my machine does it, but my machine spits water out of there. Hey Dave, welcome. Glad you came in. Yeah, so I came on a little early today. Dave's having a sale today for Quartzite. Get him back and pay for the Airbnb. So if you head over to Lapidary Dave's channel, I think it's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time, and 12 noon Mountain Time. So he's got some really nice stuff for sale today. So no, Dave, this was eBay. I got this a long time ago. I love you too, Dave. I'm glad you're doing all right. And yeah, I just thought I'd do like a PSA on crappy turquoise from eBay, but you never know. It might turn out okay. So let's give this a try. Oh. That was a little light. What happened to that one I just tried? No, I dropped it. Let's do this one. Almost looks like number 8. Very soft. Get a little more water in here. So yeah, I thought I'd come on live early and then I'll be off. I guess, Dave. I mean, this stuff was so cheap. They said it was natural. It's not natural. It's stabilized, but you never know with eBay. And that's the thing, sometimes you got to do some shop around just to see who's good, who's so-so, and who's just never go back and buy. And I've been both on this, so look how soft that is, gone over. So, all that beautiful matrix that was on the outside is now gone. Got a little bit in there. So I wonder if that was put on after they did some funky epoxy with it. Well, it's very soft. And it may be natural, actually. It doesn't have a smell to it. Well, so I go to Dave because then I know what I'm getting and I know where he's sourced it from. And I think that's worth a lot. And really the prices are just magnificent. So this was before Dave was, well, before I was buying a lot from Dave. And that's why I haven't touched it, actually. So I haven't touched this in 3 years because I've been getting really good material from other places. Don, Dave, Tim, Mojave Dave. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sandcrabber. I hope not. I've been wearing my finger down a lot lately. So I should really have a glove on, but I don't know. I don't like working with a glove on. I do if it's some sort of toxic material. Well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot, and that's a huge improvement. Yeah, I mean, so it helps a lot. I got pieces from him a couple of years back, but Dave's fantastic. He forgot. He has a memory of a savant, and he'll tell you where he got the piece from, where it's from, and he can tell you that 5 years after he sold it to you. Pretty amazing, actually. Hey there, that opal guy. See, this is just disappearing really quick, so I've got to be really soft with it. I think we're going to move over to this other wheel. Disappearing way too quick. I can't even get a good shape on it. But yeah, so not only am I here to help other people learn, I learn from you guys as we're going along. And if I can do any of these sort of PSA announcements as far as where I've got some stuff from that does work or doesn't work, I think that's helpful to everybody. So right now I would give this a C minus, maybe a C. Let's see if I can shape this top without going too flat, but it's so soft. See how soft that is? It's not bad. I had to work on the pump, Dave, yesterday. I've been hearing little knocks in the pump, so I took it all to pieces. I watched both of, if anybody ever needs to find anything out about their Genie, just go onto YouTube. You can punch it in the search bar, and I watched two different videos actually of Don Dupuy over at Diamond Pacific. There's like I don't know what to call him, but he's just such a fantastic person. I've called him a couple of times and he's helped me out. But he's got 2 videos up of how to do your maintenance on your genie pump. One was from like 8 years ago, and then he did one with Dave, who's in the chat there. I think it's about 2 years ago. Alright, so this isn't crazy bad. I can't even get the back flat. And the thinner this goes, the more likely it's going to break in half. So I'm going to kind of leave it there until we get up to the 600. Hey everybody, welcome in. Glad you can make it. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Hope your weather's improved. It's gorgeous outside here. Alright, that's one. Let's see if this is any harder. This one got that shiny look to it, almost like it has been stabilized, but let's give it a go. Let's go to the middle. So, I don't know if you guys watch silver at all. I've been watching silver and precious metals for about, I guess, probably 20 years, 15, 20 years. And I've been watching way too much of it live in the last week. I just go to the live ticker and watch the price go up and down. But it's also for financial people, the ticker that I watch. So I can see how they're trying to manipulate it back down, and they're not being successful at it. How many people in here? 67. All right, 67.17. Yeah, I can't say I'm a professional at it, Don, but yeah, I've been watching for a long time. And I exchanged in most of what I had back in, I guess, 2015, somewhere around there, when we bought this house. And it paid for my 20% down payment, pretty much, not all of it. It probably paid between 10 and 15% of the down payment on the house. Now, if I had it today, it would pay for the whole house, probably, maybe. But yeah, so I've been watching. So there's a new AI guy. Goes under different names on eBay, on YouTube. The facts are there. Whether the reading of the facts by the AI itself is, there's my Freudian slip for you, Dave. Sorry. So yeah, it's pretty good. It tells you all the facts. I don't know if it puts them all together correctly, but there's a lot of factors going into it right now, from military stuff to silver shortages as far as physical and the COMEX, and then supposedly some of these big AI and chip giants, so Meta, Samsung, even like Toshiba, Panasonic, Apple, they're all going after the silver because they need it for their components in their electronics. And with AI, they need it for their infrastructure because our present infrastructures are not producing enough electricity to sustain all the AIs that are being built out. I don't know which one catches up to us first. Yeah, you can get into... so along with that, I've been watching penny stocks for probably 15 years. And some of the mining stocks haven't moved yet. Because a lot of people think where we are with the price of silver is just fluke. It's the third time it's happened, and it's going to crash back down again probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And the way I've been watching the charts, I'm not sure that's going to happen. They're going to push it down some. They were trying really hard on Friday and Thursday to push it back down below 65, and they would get it back down, and then it would creep back up again. This one's turning out not bad. I'm actually... Let's get it close. How are we gonna... There we go. I mean, it's not terrible, is it? See, here I thought it was crappy, and it's pretty good. Still pretty soft. Hi everybody, welcome in. Get that, and then I needed 2 more subscribers to get to 150, I think. So I think we probably passed it already. Look at that. Alright, that's not so terrible. Let's move over here. Come on back in. So yeah, we're going to just cut a couple of these pieces. Add a little bit of show and tell to do. And then we were going to call it a day. They're pretty soft. So yeah, we're going to see if you do watch silver, or you're interested in silver or gold. Watch the ticker tonight. I think it opens up at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is whatever it is, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning over in Shanghai. And it's already at 70. Friday it was already at 70 in China. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to bring this. That shape's bothering me on the last one, so I'm just going to take it in. But you can always find bargains out there. Here, I'll show you one of my latest bargains that I got. See if we can back this up. Alright, let's back this up as much as we can. Nope. Let's come on back here. So, this is my latest. And I looked for stuff all over the place. This was an estate sale. It's actually just a trivet, and it had 3 little legs here. And I was missing one of the legs. So the original price was 22. I think she gave it to me for 18. And once I pulled this off the front, let's see if I can do it. Ouch. Let's see if we can do this. So I'm probably going to use this as a, backing to some of my silver stuff that I'm going to get going in the new year. Oop. Let me just undo this and I'll show you. So I didn't know how thick this was. A bit more. There you go. Sorry, I'm just taking this off the backing. There you go. And it ended up being... So yeah, I took the back off. That's all silver. And cost me 18 bucks, and there's 2 ounces here. So right now that's 120 bucks. So that's a good little find. Yeah, no, it's I think it's just like 65 grams, 66 grams. So once you put a 925 into it, it was just tiny bit under 2 ounces, which is insane. So yeah. All right, back to what we're doing. I got lots of little things like that. I do a lot of estate sales and have been for a long time. So we got those 2. Let's see what else we're gonna do here. Let's try the, boop. Let's try this nuggety one. See if I can come up with a, maybe just try and keep the nuggets on the top. Let's give that a try. And so having watched silver for so long over the years, I've got a really good eye without even having to find the mark necessarily. Okay, this one's much harder. I'm gonna move over here. Bring you in a little. That's way too much or something. Yeah, I appreciate all the comments and the thumbs up, everybody. Thank you. I usually go live on Thursdays and Sundays. I almost don't want to bring all this all the way down. As you can hear, that's much harder. See if we could do something pretty cool on this. So yeah. eBay nuggets. I'm actually pleasantly surprised right now. I'll bring all that in. And if you want some really nice stuff, there's some stuff coming up later on this afternoon over on Dave's channel. I just took off a lot. It's almost got a flat back. It looks nice inside. Let me see if I can make a girdle. How are we going to do this? I want to make a girdle on it without messing with the nuggets on top. I don't know if I can do that. Because of the angle coming out already, I'm not sure I can do it. But I'm going to try it on the edge. See if I can do this. So it's got to be this way. So, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to use the edge without cutting into the stone. Sorry. There we go. I'm trying to cut into the stone around this edge, going in a little bit below the top. We're also giving it an angle that cuts in at 11, maybe a 7 to 11. So the nugget will actually hang over the edge of whatever it's set in. I don't know if that'll work. So I gotta go in this way. And I want to thank everybody. I mean, this year's been really amazing. This time last year, I think I had like 75 subscribers, maybe. I know by January I had 87. And all I really was hoping for was to triple that. So I wanted to be in the 200s. And it's far outdone. The channel's far outdone it. So really it's not me, it's you guys. You guys have really helped my channel a lot, and I wanted to thank you all for that. Very unexpected. I almost feel like a little underdeserved, but you know, we all say that. This is sort of working. It looks like a loaf of bread. You see how I got the angle going in on the bottom with the nugget hanging off the edges. Same again there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then it can be set into something like that, and I just need to polish the top off. That's pretty cool. I guess that's come in. So. Shave it a little bit. So yeah, I'll just polish this top off, and it should look pretty cool. Got the angles. Alright. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Hi, Minty. Welcome in. Thanks for all the comments this week, Minty. Really appreciate it. If you don't know Minty's channel, you should head over to her channel. Check out her content over there. I believe an Arizona resident. There's some beautiful photography and sunsets and everything. Really nice stuff. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. So that's two. That's not bad. Let's do... I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one. I don't know if I can get anything out of that. I'm surprised. We got 3 semi-decent stones out of this lot already. And one of them probably pays for what I paid for the whole thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. Welcome in, everybody. Why are we turning today? There we go. This one feels a little bit harder. Yeah, if you go over to to Betty Rock Betty. She's been doing some fun stuff with resins and making geodes, and this one is definitely stabilized. You can smell it a mile away. Soft again, you can just see that gunking out. I don't know if we'll get anything out. Let's have a look at what's inside anyway. Oops. Not bad. It looks like it probably died. Because that looks like howlite to me. Howlite. So this piece is probably died. The others weren't, I don't think. This piece is almost like changing color as we're doing it. I think it's changing color, and it's taking, I think it's taking out the color just because we got it wet. That's funny. Look at that. It just changed color in front of us. I never had that before. So I know back in the day, when spider webbing was becoming more popular, they would use all kinds of different methods to try and make clean turquoise look spider webby. Shoe polish and inks and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not surprised by this piece being in there. I kind of expected all of it to be like this. And that's why I called it a Turquoise PSA. But I think we're going to do more of these. So I think this will be fun to do for me. I hope this doesn't dye my hands for the next week. Look like I've been in the police station. But yeah, I think we're going to do some more SirRocksAlot PSAs. I think that'd be a fun little thing to do. And I'll pick some pretty obviously Not dishonest, but slightly slighted description, describe the material, expecting it to not be very good. And we can cut it, and hopefully I don't poison myself. This one's funny. Here you go. Wow, baby. Need to get that thick coat on. I know your puppy would love to go. I'm not sure why I'm working so hard on this one, but this is why we did the PSA today. It's just really soft. Pretty sure it's dyed. Stabilized with something. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see if we can. But I bought this material probably 3 years ago. I just never cut it because it looked so, it was just uninviting. Looked fake, sounded fake, but actually it's not as bad as I thought, so. Right, I can hear my pump going again. Could be worse. Well, I hope she gets better soon. Sounds like she's on the mend, which is great. It's hard when our furry friends are not doing too well. You know they're not in a great situation and they're telling you so, but you never know what's wrong with them because they can't speak to us completely, but they'll tell you when they're not doing well. I guess it could be worse, right? I don't mean the shaping, I mean the material itself. I gotta watch the time too, because I know Dave's going on it too. We're good. Alright, I gotta stop on this wheel because I just make it disappear into nothing. So you can keep that. So that's 3. 4. Let's do. I don't know how we're going to shape this, but we're going to try and shape this piece. So I'm towing it in the phone so I can see it and see what we're going to do here. I think we're taking this out. Let's take that off. This is the weirdest shape. I'm not even sure how to do this one. What else should I mention while I'm on here? Tanya over at My Jewelry Addiction has a wonderful channel, her and Doug at Raven's Chest. That's My Jewelry Addiction. There's Kirsten over at Kirsten's Red Resale. Christy, of course, over at Ladies Who Loop. Wendy Wolfwalker, Wolfwalker Collectibles. Leonore down in Miami is just a treat to everybody. And you've got Beth over at Grand Goldstein. Beth. I'm trying to make a shape here. I'm not doing very well at it. But I had to choose an angle. My friend keeps calling me and he keeps calling me when I'm live and I can't answer the phone. I think he thinks I'm hanging up on him. Well, I am, but for good reason. So we're doing pretty good for a Sunday. 36 likes is great. We've been up to 100 people, which is fantastic. It's been a really good week. I'm hoping for a really good week this coming week. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope you get to spend some time with the ones that you love in your life, or the ones that love you is actually more important. But yeah, it's important to see the ones that we love, but it's more important, I think, to see the ones that love us. If that makes any sense. Alright, now we're looking at something here. Thank you, Betty. Maybe we'll see. Good luck with the turquoise that Dave's is sending you. I'm sure you'll do great. And I'm still jealous or envious of your saw. Maybe that'll be my goal for this year. Be getting like a 10-inch saw. Instead of fiddling around with the tile saws like I do. Alright. It's not looking too bad. I have to say, I'm a little blown away at actually how decent this material is. I was expecting it to be horrible. I'm just going to roll this around. See if I can find my shape on here. But nobody has to work this week. I got to work a couple of days this week. But somebody's got to watch the fort while all the other employees are out for the week, visiting their families around the U.S. Alright, well I'm actually impressed with that one. So we had the ugly shape of all different ways, and that is it's just a pre-shape, but pretty nice. Wow, let's see if I can screw up one of these. Let's try this one. This one's a little lighter. This might just disappear. Blade marks on your rocks, or blade marks on yourself? Hopefully it's on the rocks. I don't know, can you get a guide on, can you adapt the guide onto yours, Betty? Not terrible. Where are we going to go with this? It's coming off. Okay, well that's good. I haven't seen you use it, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. And me thinking I would be all Mr. Steady Hands would probably screw up a couple of blades. A couple of blades and a couple of rocks too. But maybe if silver keeps going up, I'll be able to afford one. Okay. A little bit nuggety, but we're getting closer. I just brought the sides in a little bit, and now I'm going to flatten this back out completely. I'll do it where you can see it, but I'm going to do it on this 80 grit, just so it's a little quicker. I don't have a full vise, but I got a little guide on the barrel saw, but I use it on really hard stones. Because if I go offline when I'm doing it by hand, if I go offline with a stone, it'll catch the blade and stop the blade, which isn't good for the motor. But I imagine you have a much steadier hand than I do. Actually, that's not true. I was at the doctor the other day and I had to hold his hand still. But yeah, it was pretty funny. So 20 years ago, I did not have a steady hand. That looking good on the back. It's a little pity on this one. I don't mean like pity, sorry pity. I mean pity as in crevices. Hi Regal. Let me give this a try. Great name that is, Regal, man. I guess that must be my knighthood coming out. Alright, pressing pretty hard. Going around the edge, trying to dome it a little bit. You can see me rolling it there. It's a slow roll, but I'm rolling it. Hi Sol, welcome in. I watched your little waterfall the other day, that was pretty fun. Yeah. We are making something out of, I don't know what these cost me, but I'm going to say less than 20 bucks. They're not great. Yeah, it's kind of pitty all the way through. So it's not going to polish this one. Smoothie does sound good. All I've hit so far today is the coffee, and I need to work on something else other than coffee. What time are we on? 1:50, so well, we still got time. Yeah, so my next goal is probably 1,250 subscribers. That would be the next goal and next giveaway. And then, or reward, we're calling it. And then I think it's about 500 more hours to get to monetization. I think that's what it is. So the shorts have been doing really well for me. And I love the lives. The lives are fun. I get to chat to myself even though I'm chatting to you guys. My neighbors think I'm crazy. So it keeps them away. And I get to share this kind of stuff with you guys, which is awesome. Alright. So this one we kept nuggety. I'm actually really impressed with this. I expected all this to fall to pieces. So, might as well just finish the lot. What do we got? One more? Two more? All right, two more. This one's very similar to the last one, so let's see if I can make this quick. I'm going to bring it all the way down up to here and take off the top. So let's do this, see if we can do this quick on the 80 grit. Where am I going here? Right about there, I think. Okay. So I did find some of my other wheels, brand new wheels that I'd misplaced. I've got an 8,000, a 14,000, and a 50,000, which I need to go buy one of those quick adapters from Diamond Pacific, so I can put those three wheels on where I can just interchange them with the 600, 1200, 3000 really quick. And that way I can get a really good polish before I even get to a zam, if I even do a zam. Alright. And this stuff is really surprising me. Get around the outside here real quick. I'm going to show you one of my favorite pieces of Larimar. This, my friend still has a lot of Larimar rough for sale, but she's only going to do it in bulk. And then I'm also probably going to work with her on a sale for her in the beginning of the new year. She has a lot of material left over from an estate sale from 3 years ago. And she wants me to help price it a little bit, and I don't know what platform we're going to sell it on. It may be YouTube, it may be, she has her own auction site too, so it may do it on there. So keep your eye out for that. She's got some amazing stuff. Finished pieces, opal. I mean, she showed me a piece of opal the other day that's got to be 7 grand, something like that. Beautiful crystal. Hi Amy, welcome in. Thanks for joining. I was trying to do a PSA on how terrible some of eBay rough can be, and it's actually turned out to be much better than I thought. I mean, it's not quite exactly as advertised, but for the price, if you haven't worked turquoise before, this is a great way to start without having to dish out $8 a carat. Okay, what's going on here then? Well, actually pretty nice. I don't know if it's dyed or not. I'm gonna get those little crumblies out. Yeah, I will. So it's some pretty amazing stuff. I've talked about the sale a few times because I was invited to this. This is 4 years ago. His name was Dr. Woodruff. He was an entomologist at the University of Florida for 20, 30 years. But most of his entomology he did in the Dominican Republic. And this was in the 70s and the 80s. So during his research there, he met somebody called Sir Ortiz is his name. And Sir Ortiz was one of the first people given the rights to export Larimar out of the Dominican Republic by the Dominican Republic government. So not only did he do the Larimar, Dr. Woodruff, but he also did the Blue Amber, which I wish I'd bought more of. And then he got into materials from China, materials from Indonesia, jewelry, statues, thunder eggs, geodes, just everything you can think of. And there were just buckets and buckets and buckets of stuff. Piles of rough outside by the pool. He had stuff in the pool. He had a huge workshop outside with fossils from all over the place. It was just amazing. So I got invited to the pre-sale, and I bought quite a lot of stuff. And then I went to the first weekend of the first sale and I bought a lot of stuff. And then I ended up working the sale the next 2 weekends because I couldn't afford to keep putting out the money. I needed to take the opportunity while it was there to buy some of the stuff that I had. Oh, that sounds a little long-winded. But she bought the whole estate. If I remember correctly, I had another jeweler friend here in town, and he was trying to get somebody from New York to come and buy the whole thing, and they offered the family $3 million when he first passed away, and the family refused it. So it wasn't until 3 years later that they actually decided to bid out the rest of what was left in the house. And I mean outside, down just one wall of the house, there must have been 50 to 100 5-gallon buckets of material, which you don't see around here very often at all, ever, actually. It's not where I live is not the rock-pounding mecca of America. So yeah, that'll be coming up. She just asked me last week or the week before, and I said I'd look into it come this new year. And then she said she'd pay me in rocks, which is good and bad. I don't know. Oh, this piece is coming out pretty nice. Look at that. This is not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting at all. And here, I'll show you. I pulled out a piece of Larimar out of my display cabinet that I did 3 years ago, and then another one that I started when we were doing a live maybe 6 months ago, 4 months ago. Let me just unsharpen this edge right here. The top of my girdle to the dome is way too sharp. Wow. Okay. How did that happen? Oh, I've only got one more piece to go. I'm not sure how that happened. That's a decent looking piece right there. Alright, well I got one more piece and we'll be done with that. So let's do that. We'll do this last piece. I don't know which way we're going to go. Just a little piece. We go from the bottom side. This might be dyed as well. It's a little too white, sort of right in there. Let's give it a little scratch here. Even the gunk coming off is much whiter. It's also really soft. Yeah, it might be dyed, but we'll do it anyway. So usually dyed, you can tell one, it'll start, it's not running color though, so I'm not sure if it's dyed or not. It might just be a light colored stone. You can usually tell. You can take a Q-tip with some acetone and see if the color comes out on the Q-tip. That's one good way to do it. Cutting it is another. But if it was dyed, I would expect this gun to be, you know, like slightly blue, and it's not. I'll have to get a big old piece of dyed howlite just for comparison. I'll show you guys in the next slide. I don't know what shape we're doing here, but it's that bottom corner so it doesn't chip out. Hey Sushi. Yeah, it's not bad for how cheap it was. It's actually really good for how cheap it was. I'll have to go back and find out the store, but I don't want to push people there because they might not have the same experiences I've had with this little sponge. I know there's something not quite right about it, I just can't put my finger on it. Although I do have my finger on it. Come on. down the edge to about 5 millimeters. Round it a little. Get it nice. I'm going to leave the rest of the shaping to do on the next 3 wheels, which I will either do the next shaping on the next 3 wheels in the next day or 2. I don't know if I'm going to come on Christmas. I might come on, well, I can't come on New Year's, Christmas Eve. I might come on Christmas. But family's going to come first, so I can't make any promises. Look at this. I'm actually amazed at this. I am really, really, really surprised. If I knew they'd come out this good, I wouldn't have waited this long. So, they're not a fantastic color, but they're nice different variants. They do have some webbing to them. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. It must have been, so I came out here today and I re-plugged in my shop vac just in case we ended up cutting anything, and found this little river rock in here. And then I turned it over and yeah, roll. Maybe I should try Dremel carving that. Or maybe I should just give him an eye. Just give him an eye. We can give him an eye. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Now you got an eye. Just that little eye just made him come to life. Alright. Definitely needed an eye. I don't know what his other eye looks like, but yeah, so and Miss Frecklecat did not supposedly put this out here, so I must have picked it up out of one of my buckets. Let's turn that off. Take a look. Oh, I got a couple of things to show you guys. I'm pretty lucky. I don't know why I'm so lucky, but I've done well with freebies or winning stuff over the years. But I wanted to show you this. So this is, no, that's good. It's a piece of Larimar, oxidized white. The black on the outside is actually a carbonized bark. So this is Dominican Republic, Larimar. It's a pectolite that has copper within it, which gives it the blue color. And there's a few different stages here, so not sure how it got carbonized. It is volcanic over there, but then you also had the Chicxulub asteroid meteor that came into the Gulf of Mexico. They're not sure if it got carbonized that way. And then we did try polishing the other side a little bit, maybe 4 months ago. It started to come out. That's a little too translucent there, but those blues are coming out. And then you go from this stage, sort of the same thing, to a bit better blue on this one. This one I've had in my display case. I did this when this came from the estate sale. There were buckets and buckets of rough. I just couldn't afford it at the time. So you can start to see this blues really starting to come out. And then the other side, doink, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Hey Dana, Merry Christmas to you too. And I'm sure everybody thanks you for everything you do on everybody's channels as far as mods and just being you and purchasing. You're amazing, so thank you. But yeah, so you go 1, 2, 3, and then you get, yeah, it's pretty stuff. It doesn't always stay together like that because these, they're not striations, but they're needly. It's very needly pectolite. And it can split down those needle-like, they're like little, I don't know how to put it. I don't know the right word for it. But kind of how the light is actually coming off the stone there in different directions, the pectolite does that too. So. Now this is Larimar, Vicky. Which, hi, Vicky, by the way. Yeah, no, it's Larimar. Oop. That's really nice. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky. This is one of my favorite wins from Dawn over at Diamond Pacific. Not an endorsement, but one of them old school belt buckle with some silver onyx. Which actually it came off here. So you would think maybe a little bit more glue. Looks like a slug on the back. But this is really nice. It's one of my favorites. And this is a thing. I think this is a like, you know, 1970s, 1980s thing. They made a lot of belt buckles and bolos, not necessarily in the highest quality of metalwork. And I think something like this today would be nice to set, and maybe some, you know, some proper cool copper sheet, maybe some silver, maybe a mix of both. Yeah, this is that's a silver onyx. And then I think my favorite of all time freebies, and it took a long journey to get here, but I won the Rhodonite Pig when they were, I think it was Keno, when Dave and everybody was out at Keno, and she took a long time to get here, but she's probably one of my favorite things. I think this is like the best giveaway ever. I've seen people with bags of opal, and I'd rather have the Rhodonite Pig. So I thought I'd show the Rhodonite Pig. And just so she didn't get lonely, I was at an estate sale maybe 5 months ago, and I found a buddy. So, two of my kind of favorite things in my cabinet. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good little session. You don't know, Dave's having a sale in about 15 minutes, I think. And I want to really thank everybody, not just the people that came in today, because you guys are great, but all the people that have come in over this last year. I never imagined it. It still blows me away. And I love you guys for it. So please come back in some of the other lives, Thursdays and Sundays. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas with your family, your friends. Hopefully you get to go do some rock hounding. And like I said earlier, don't just go see the people that you love. Make sure you see the people that love you. So Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, take care of each other. And most of all, take care of yourselves. Okay? Love you. Merry Christmas. Bye now.